Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Caspian and I read a lot of books, and this is my little cozy corner, and I mostly read library books, and in this video I'm going to talk about two books. One that I borrowed at the library and one that I own myself, and I'm also going to share with you a small tiny book haul that I made this week. And why? Okay, so I'm gonna start off by talking about this one. It is Sarah Penner's The London Seance Society, but this is the Swedish edition, so I read it in Swedish. So in this book we follow Madeleine L'Engle and also Lena Wick's. So, at the beginning of this book, Lena Wick's sister has died, and she used to be the student of Madeleine L'Engle. Madeleine L'Engle is a spiritist. She is someone who can commune with the dead. So, she's not a part of the society because the London Seance Society is only for men, okay? So Madeleine lives in France, and Lena has gone to France to learn from Madeleine, to be able to hopefully herself hold a seance where she can connect with her sister to find out who killed her. So that's kind of the premise of the book. And then on the way we find out that there is something amiss with the London Seance Society. There's some shady stuff going on, and Madeleine and Lena get wrapped up in this. And the first half of the book was almost boring. It was a little better than the other book that I've read by this author. I don't remember the name of that book, though. I read one book previously and it was like an okay read. This was a little bit better, but I was kind of bored. And then halfway through, I was like, What? There was this big twist where, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was such a big twist that I was like, I'm sorry, what? Who did what and who? So that really made me want to continue reading it for sure. So and the ending, I liked the ending. I'm not gonna say more than that, but like, so from half the book till the end, like from the 50% mark to the end, it was a good book. So I give this a 4 stars because or like 3.75, I think, because it was definitely better than the other book that I have read from this author, and that one I only gave like 2.5 stars, on the border of 3. I think I gave 3 on Goodreads, but it was barely a 3. This one didn't have the same themes that I didn't like in that one, so I was intrigued by this and I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about this one. And it was on my TBR for this month as well. So I'm gonna get back to this one, just show it at the end of the month. And then I read this one. This is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. So this is, I think the English title is The Lost Fortune. I'm gonna double check. No, The Impossible Fortune. The Impossible Fortune. But the Swedish title is The Lost Fortune. But den försvunna. Försvunna means lost fortune. Förmögenheten. So, I gave this 4 stars. Because it was, I gave it 4.5 actually. Because it was a really interesting murder mystery. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, you know. I'm not gonna tell you the people that are in it, because if you have only started this series, I don't want to spoil anything for you. but the premise is the same. It's the people of Cooper's Cross, I think they live, like this retirement village, and they have this Thursday murder club. But in this book there's a wedding. They plan a wedding at the beginning of the book, and then at the wedding they find out that one person is being targeted. He feels like he is being targeted and hunted, and he's scared, so he reaches out to the two members of the Thursday Murder Club to get some help. And then as he is and then he disappears, and then his business partner is also afraid to get targeted, and they talk a little bit to her, and these two people are connected to the wedding, and the wedding, the person that's getting married is connected to one of the Thursday Murder Clubs. So it's like a familial connection that makes it a bit more, you know, they take it to heart a little bit more. Some of them do. I think you can guess which ones and which ones doesn't. So yeah, I really like how far they've come in this series with this book. I really like the progression of the characters, and I like the progression of this little group and the expansion of the group so far. Some people have found their match, you know, their match made in heaven and so forth, and some has unfortunately lost their match made in heaven. And yeah, it's really interesting to follow this group of people, and I really enjoy this series. I really do. And at the end of the book it says that he is going to write a couple of books in the other series, We Solve Murders, but then get back to this one. So I think we will have another book in this series in a couple of years. Okay, so this angle, this room, you haven't seen in a while. So what happened was that I thought I had 20 extra minutes, or 20 more minutes, until my partner was supposed to come home and we were going to go shopping together. But I didn't. So he came home. Or like he texted me that he was outside so that I could come out, so we could go shopping, food shopping. So here I am, back again. And I think I'm done talking about the two recent reads. And I promised you a tiny book haul. 3 books. So these are books that I bought secondhand yesterday, because yesterday I took a walk to my local library to pick up Quicksilver. I don't remember the author's name and I don't have the book here, but I had it on reserve, so I went to pick it up. And then, like, less than a minute's walk from the library, we have a secondhand bookstore, or a secondhand store with a lot of books. So I went there. It's one of those that I usually frequent, and this one is Stadsmissionen that I have talked about before. They employ people that have had a rough life and then want to get back on their feet. So people that have maybe been addicts and then turned life around, and that is kind of their first job opportunity. This organization, they also have like soup kitchens, and they have a lot of things to help homeless people in Stockholm. And I like to go to their secondhand store and, you know, do what I can in that way to help that organization. So that's kind of my contribution. It's a small one, but yeah. So I have 3 books here. The first one is another book by Khaled Hosseini that wrote Kite Runner. This one, I don't think I'm gonna get the English name of this one. Is there even an original title? Yeah, oh, the original title is in English. 1,000 Splendid Suns. 1,000 Splendid Suns. And that's kind of the same in Swedish. So, close enough. So I found this, and it's about Mariam that's only 15 years old. She's poor and without education when she's forced to go to Kabul to get married to a 30-year older man, so 45 years old. After nearly 20 years in a loveless and violent marriage, Mariam is accompanied in her misfortune by the young Layla, and wife number 2, that is forced to forget her love to the neighbor boy after her parents has died in a bomb attack. While both women endures the constant escalating violence in the home as well as on the streets of Kabul, they grow closer each day. So yeah, I really was drawn to this because I really enjoyed the kite runner and the language of the author or the translator. So I should maybe look up if it's the same translator. I think it is, but I should maybe look that up. But I'm not able to do that now. So I hope it is. So that one, 20 crowns, around £2 for that one. And then this one as well, £2. This is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and I've seen a deep dive video about this, but fortunately my memory is not that I don't, store everything. I think I'm gonna remember as I read it, maybe, but the deep dive video on this was more in terms of deciding which, how similar this one was to another book that has been accused of plagiarism or something like that. So I think that this is the one that was written first, and then the other one was accused of plagiarism eventually. Yeah, this is the one that's written in 2015, and the other one people accused this one of plagiarizing the other one, but this one was actually written first. And I've heard so much about it, so when I saw it at the shop I was like, they have this one. So it says like this: in 70-year-old Mayor Barrow's world, society is not divided after class, religion, race or gender, but by blood. The silver blood, the silvery, are superhumans with astonishing abilities that rule over the common red bloods, I guess, we just said common red, and use them as soldiers, workers and servants. So this reminds me of Red Rising. And I kind of like that divide, that class system of a sort. Not that I, endorse it, but I enjoy that plot in a book, or what, I don't know what to call it. Mare is a part of the red part of the population, and she doesn't see any signs that the world order she's grown up with will ever be changed. But when she, through the random acts of fate, maybe, starts to work as a servant at the royal Sun Palace, everything changes. To her own and the people of the court's big surprise, Mare discovers that she herself has a unique and deadly ability, even though she has red blood. King Tiberius soon realizes that Mare is a threat to the balance of power that his realm rests upon. But while he thinks of what to do, I guess, to annihilate Mare, She sees a possibility to destroy the regime of the Silvers from within and open the door to a new world. At the same time, her heart has started to pull in the completely the wrong direction. Whew, okay, that was I think half this video was this translation. So I look forward to these two. And then I actually found a book in English, and so I don't have to translate that one. But I'm wondering if maybe I went against my own, you know, normal judgment with this one, because I was like, oh, that book. Because I'm gonna look, what is the original title? Is there an original title, or is this the original title? So I think this is the original. Yes, okay, great. I was afraid this was supposed to be in French. Because if it was supposed to be in French, I wanted to read a Swedish translation from French to Swedish, and not from like French to English, like a language that I barely know to a language I know but isn't my native language. That would not have been preferable. So this is this one. So the name made me think maybe it should have been in French. So this is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. Let's see what this says. It was a dark and stormy night. Out of this wild night, a strange visitor comes to the Murray house and beckons Meg, her brother Charles Wallace, and their friend Calvin O'Keefe on a most dangerous and extraordinary adventure, one that will threaten their lives and our universe. So this was written a while back, like in the 60s. Beckons. That's a word I have never really gotten a feel for. Beckons. Okay, so this is like this is a quintet, and I think this is the first book in the quintet. The other ones are A Wind in the Door, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, Many Waters, and Unacceptable Time. See those little pictures there. So this is sci-fi, I think, and I'm not sure I enjoyed this. It's not a sticker, it's like printed, and it's like anyway. So this is supposed to be sci-fi. This is, I think, fantasy, and this is contemporary literature, because it doesn't say another year. So I think it's supposed to be quite contemporary literature. So yeah, 3 different books to add to my TBR. So yeah, I'm gonna put those in my TBR jar, and we'll see when I get to them. I can also just pick them up when I want to. I'm not, you know, I'm not obliged to only read my TBR when I pick the book from the TBR jar. It's just a fun addition to my life. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Have you read any of these books? 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, or Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard? Let me know. See you. Or maybe the other books that I talked about earlier. The London Seance Society and the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club. Let me know. Xingling.